Welcome to the Drought Gaming Podcast. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure this is episode 10, Big 10. We finally hit double digits. It only took, a year? Because we do one of these every 6 months or something. I'm here with Bobby, and I'm here with the Jerf. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Yo.
I have to assume Jeff's been drinking. Jeff, what are you drinking this evening?
I'm actually drinking vodka with orange juice.
The old screwdriver.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it, man.
I had a cold last week, so I thought orange juice is probably a good way to go.
I love it. Yeah.
1 week
Called
ago.
it sick. Called it sick and just drank screwdrivers until I felt better.
So I either
How
feel
did you
better
know that?
or pass out, whichever one happens first.
And both. A lot of
Oh,
vitamin C in a screwdriver. That's all I'm saying.
So, what have you been up to, man? Gameplay-wise, life-wise. We haven't had a podcast in a while.
Goodness. I've played no games.
Okay. 0 games.
I really haven't played. I have some. Let me real quick just see what I have downloaded and installed on Steam. So actually, the big news since the last time we had a podcast is I rebuilt my computer, so I now have a decent, reliable
have a
PC.
computer.
And actually, I lied. I do, and I bought Street Fighter V, and I played it twice.
so you did play a game.
I did.
You're a lying
did.
piece of shit, you know that?
I know. I am. I really am a horrible person.
That's awesome, man. Is it true, the rumor that you bought a new house worth $6 million?
Yes and no.
Okay. So, you didn't buy a house, but it was worth $6 million.
Buy a new house, and it's definitely not worth $6 million.
Fine.
But maybe if we get Trump on the podcast, we'll.
I would like to make this
There,
announcement,
you know?
and I would like to make this open invitation to Donald Trump. Yes, the lead runner for the Republican nominee for president, to join us on our podcast. I'm pretty sure our viewer would love to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, round of applause for Donald. No,
No,
No.
I mean, well, I don't think anybody here is a Trump supporter, which is why he should come to our podcast. That would be great.
agreed. We can debate his awful policies or lack thereof.
I was going to say you have to have a policy in order to debate them.
I think he's a solid candidate, and I don't appreciate the way you guys are talking about him.
It's funny because you can't even take Bobby seriously. Like, those words, I think he's a solid candidate, just sounds stupid.
He's solid in that he has mass.
Well, that's about the best argument anybody
Yeah,
has.
I guess.
for
You're
Donald
right.
Trump.
I guess when you're talking about physics here, he's solid. Yes, he's not liquid. He's certainly not gas. Actually, he might be full of gas.
He's a
But
solid.
God, and here we are back on Trump again. All right, Bobby, what have you been up to? Life and games, man.
Was at Florida for a while.
Nice.
Played a lot of 3DS
Cool.
during that trip.
What games?
Got back into Bravely Default. Didn't beat it, but I'm really close to the end. I played Final Fantasy Explorers, and I ended up stopping Default instead. So I guess I could tell you enough
after
about
this,
that
we
game.
can talk about Final Fantasy Explorers because I don't know much about it, but it seems like one of those Monster Hunter type games, but one of those grindy hunting games. But I honestly don't know. But we'll talk about that in a little while. We talk about specific games and stuff.
Yeah.
Good. Anything PC or console wise you've been playing?
Final Fantasy 14 on
Oh yeah,
PS4.
you've been back on that. Your streams look great.
Yeah.
Check out Bobby's Final Fantasy 14 streams, people. Sorry, go.
On the DGx Podcast channel,
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah. Check out Bobby's live stream. He has a couple live streams up there. He goes the path of the ninja.
I think that's what makes it stick out.
Right.
Naming it something like
Path
that.
of the Ninja. Yeah, Path to
Yeah.
Ninja. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. So check it out.
And right, we are doing our podcast, which I traditionally do as I play a game during it, is I'm playing Twilight Princess, the HD
right.
update.
HD remake or update or whatever it is.
Did that come out today?
Yes, it did.
Excellent.
Is that something you're interested in, Jerf?
I do have some interest in that. I like Twilight Princess, but I probably won't buy it just because fuck Wii U.
It's funny because, like I was telling Bobby earlier this week, Twilight Princess is like the Zelda game that killed Zelda for me. Yeah, it like that game made me not want to play Zelda games anymore, and it's really sad.
You know, I think in a roundabout way, I may have the same opinion. I just stopped playing it.
Well, before you get out of like the tutorial, it like bored me to death.
Oh no, I got way further than the tutorial.
Oh, yeah.
I got stuck at some point.
I think I got a little bit past the tutorial, but by then I was like over it. Like that game takes way too long to ramp up to being fun, like way too long. You know, Link to the Past.
It took me 3 hours to get to the first dungeon.
Jeez.
But I know that sounds awful, and it is. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you're fucking crazy, like every other Nintendo fan would probably do. You don't know anything about games. You just don't understand Zelda.
You never played a game in your life, have you?
You don't know how much strategy is involved with fucking Smash Brothers.
But the game does get a lot better. It just like you said, it ramps up very shittily.
I'm sure I have no doubt about that. I believe you. I just don't know why. Like when you're like these people are professional game designers. Like who sits there and says we should wait 3 hours for the person to get to anything fun? Make them earn the fun. Let's not hand out fun.
We're not in the business of fun here.
Who hands out fun? Let's make them earn the fucking fun. Like they need to get there. It's like the whole idea.
I don't think that was the idea.
No, I'm
behind
sure.
I know you're joking.
It's story
it's
building
just
and a lot of stuff.
Well, no, it's. I think it's that, but I think the pacing is because you know how Nintendo is. Every game they make, and it's just this is the worst example of it. So keep that in mind when I say this. Is that they intend every game as if it's the first time you've ever played a video game.
Right.
So that's basically the reason it does that. Unfortunately, they don't do it in a way that I think they should have done it, which I think a lot of more modern games do. This is kind of you mean the like, tail end of the GameCube generation.
Like, hey, do you want us to show you how to play this? No. Okay, enjoy.
Well, there's that, or part of the game. You're playing the game and then learning it as you go, and game. It's like do this task now. Do this task. Okay, horse riding. That's part of the tutorial, and then you don't have the horse for like 6 years. It's like, so then why did you bother doing that at the beginning of the game? You should have just added that in later.
It's to tickle
so it's
your
just
balls,
it just
Bobby.
wasn't very smart.
It's just to tickle your balls.
Well, I like that, but it's not very smart. But that's the reason they do it.
Right,
they just didn't do it. They didn't do it well. They didn't execute it very well in this one, and it sucks because I think that's you're not like the only person who had that problem. Lots of people complained about that.
What, did it ramp up too slowly?
That it takes way too long to ramp up. In fact, I think I can't remember if it was the Kotaku article about it, but they mentioned the exact same thing.
Yeah. It's one of those games, like at the time, it'd been a while since I played a Zelda game. So I was like, man, I could really go for a Zelda game. And then, to have to wait that long for it to become a Zelda game was just like, ugh. Well, I've been playing a lot of shit. If anyone's watching our YouTube videos or following the channel, I've been doing a lot of MMOs.
We have a channel?
The sad part is I believe you. I honestly think you don't know that. Yes, we have a channel. We have a very good YouTube channel that's full of great content. That if you're not familiar with it, you suck at life, and you owe yourself to go watch all of our videos, every single one of them. They're all great. Yeah, I don't know. I made a lot of videos. I've been playing Black Desert's a new MMO, just came out in the US. I've been playing that. There's Portal Knights, which is this cool like Zelda cross Minecraft type game that me and Ozzy seem to play a lot of. That's Ozzy from PNP Gaming. There's also, what's this thing? I've been playing some Fallout 4. I kind of decided I'm going to go back to that for whatever reason, which is probably a horrible idea. But I've been playing. Earth still hasn't told me if I'm playing it right. He was supposed to let me know. And the Division comes out soon, so I'm pretty pumped about that because my loot grinding needs some grinding.
The Division. Yes, I played the beta. I lied about playing games.
Oh, you are such a piece of shit, dude.
I know. I'm sorry.
I also played the beta with. Damn, I forgot the other dude's name.
Siobhan and Will.
Yeah, Siobhan Will, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that game has the potential to be a really great like MMO combat thing. Like,
here's the other thing, you would know because you played it a lot more than I have. Yeah.
Oh. The Division.
You might know the Division. Yeah.
Right.
So, are you able to have like, what's the max party size? Like, is it like?
It's 4.
Okay, that's better than 3.
Yeah, it's better than 3. I don't know if there's zones, like, they haven't been clear if there's like raids or anything bigger where like Destiny, how there's something else you can do. So they've really shown that. So
well, I'm thinking about like PvP wise, like there's gonna be factions. Obviously, like some people are not just gonna be goody two shoes about everything. People are gonna gang up, but how big can this?
People are already. There's a really good video going around. Well, even me and my crew, my whole Destiny crew, which there's like 8 or 9 of us, we were already trying to find ways to like group up and then have one person drop out of the group and group up with the rest of the gang so that we can get more than 4 people in the same instance. We're already trying to find ways to like create like a gang in the Dark Zone so that we can do horrible things to people and steal stuff. So, and what I mean by that is if we're thinking about it, you best believe that other motherfuckers are thinking about it because like we're not even like an elite Destiny group. We're just a bunch of guys that played way too much Destiny back in the day.
So I only played the beta solo for a little while, and I thought it was the game is pretty cool. But am I right that it's very similar to Destiny?
So from what I could tell, what's similar to Destiny is that it's multiplayer co-op, and there's loot and items very similar to with the color schemes that you'll find in your typical MMO and things like that. There's green items and rare items and all that stuff. So it's very loot oriented, based on what you kill and where you go and what quests you're completing and stuff. So yeah, there's that's like Destiny. What's to be seen, and what I don't think Ubisoft is clear about is like, okay, what do you do at the end when I level cap at whatever the level cap is? What's my objective then? Like, is it just PvP in the Dark Zone? And all the high level, the really great gear is. Have you heard about the Dark Zone yet, or have you guys played it enough to get there, or what?
Yeah, I was in the Dark Zone.
You went with those guys, right? So
yeah.
So do you know about Dark Zone, Jeff?
No, I didn't get there. I played solo for just a couple of days, and it was only a few times. So.
All right, so the Dark Zone is where all the really high-level items are, like the best gear in the game and shit, and they drop from these really tough enemies, NPCs. Now, the trick is the Dark Zone is PvP. Anyone can attack anyone. Now, you get this flag on you, calling you a rogue if you kill another player, and then other players get points for killing rogues. So, like, there's a negative to actually just randomly killing people in a Dark Zone. But if someone has, like, gear, you have to get it to an extraction point when you get gear in the Dark Zone. So, it kind of encourages people to, like, try and jack people for their gear, their loot and shit. It's this weird system. And the cool thing is they added They added.
So wait, so hang on, sorry. There's a negative to me killing you, but because you may have just gotten some awesome gear that I can
Right.
steal.
Right.
Neat. I like it.
But the cool thing is, like, there's this first. What's it called? There's this the chatting in the game is based on air, like distance. Like, you can walk up to someone, and because you're close to them, you can be like proximity.
Proximity
Yes.
chat.
So it has proximity chat. So I can walk up to someone and be like, "Oh, you guys cool, or what's the deal?" And they're like, "Yeah, man, you cool." And there's like this weird tension that I've never experienced in another game before, where like
Huh.
you see a group of dudes, or you see another dude, and you don't know if he's gonna try to kill you and take your shit. You don't know if he's all right, and he's just afraid of you. So you guys are looking at each other, and you're on the chat, and you're like, "Yo, what's the deal?" Like, "Nah, man, we're just passing through." Like, "Oh, all right, we're just passing through too." And then maybe he'll take a shot at you. Maybe he won't. Maybe you guys just go on your way. Like, there was times where
I look at yeah.
there were times where me and
I look at
Siobhan was
that
trying
part
to
of the
extract
game.
stuff, and it was like there's these guys at the extraction point, and we see these guys, and they're like pointing guns at us, and me and Siobhan are like, "Fuck, man, is this going down?" And they didn't shoot, so we just kind of slowly walked up to the extraction. I extracted my shit. I'm still looking at the guys, and I just back out of there, and then I look. Siobhan and I are just like, "Let's get the fuck out of here," and we got it. We got our shit, and we left, which was very, very
Damn.
cool. But like the tension that Dark
Yeah.
Zone brings, it's like something else, man. It's like it's its own
Yeah,
game.
it like you don't really trust anybody, even though
Right.
they're like yeah. But like the way I look at it, like the way the game actually does a good job of making you feel like you're playing. Well, I mean, not exactly, but like you're in the world of The Walking Dead almost. Like everybody's fucking, you know, in the world, and they might just fucking kill the next get what they need.
Right, right.
I mean, the game mechanics allow for that kind of thing to happen.
Yeah. So
And that's just the beta. We barely even touched the
and
game.
that's the thing. Like, they only put in that second beta, they only put two major story missions. So I would assume there's going to be a lot more in the final game. And I liked the major story missions. There's like full what I would call like a strike in Destiny, and there was a lot of stuff to do, and there's like a boss at the end. It's a good experience. So if they have a lot of that stuff, and I would say if they go out and have more content than Destiny, which was, I think, hurting for content in the beginning, it could be a real hit.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys gonna buy it?
Already bought it.
I'm pretty certain I will. When's it come out?
Tuesday.
Next week?
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh shit!
I already bought it only because I bought it a couple days ago because I wanted to preload. Maybe it's preloading right fucking now. I don't even know.
PS4?
I should
PS4,
probably
yeah.
get it then. Yeah, get it for PS4, Drift. Then we can all roll.
Yeah. If you're
Okay.
gonna get it, PS4 is definitely where I'll be playing because that's
All right.
my old Destiny crews on PS4, and right now not all of them are sold on it, but Joel, who's hardcore, and Siobhan, who's hardcore, and Will, I think, who are probably the most hardcore of the Destiny people besides Walt.
Yeah.
They're all gonna be playing it, so there's gonna be a good group. We should always have someone to roll with in the Dark Zone, which is kind of the idea. And for anybody that gives a shit, I will be hooking up my Hopage. I don't know how to pronounce that company name. Recorder, and I'll be recording a lot of the Division. Like, I plan to like make a ton of videos from that. So yeah, I think that's going to be a nightly thing for me. Record, like, whatever I do on Division, I'll record at least 30 minutes to an hour of our nonsense, especially when we're doing the harder levels and missions and shit.
Nice.
I can't wait. That game looks like it's going to be good, and I like good games. So let's talk. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. It reminded me of another piece of news that I saw this week. That the Uncharted 4 has been delayed.
Oh
yet
yeah,
again.
that's. I mean, it wasn't delayed very much. It was delayed what, a month?
First it was supposed to come out in March, then April, and then I think it's like another 2 weeks it's being delayed. And I mean, I'm not like making a big deal that it got delayed. If they need to delay it so it doesn't
I
fucking
prefer
end up
them
being
delay it.
end up being like Assassin's Creed Unity.
What I don't like is when they delay a game for fiscal reasons. Like, well, we can get it into the next fiscal year, and it'll help our fucking earnings and shit if we push it. That annoys me.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool. But it is what it is. It's business still.
Right. But I mean, they're not. I think they're delaying it for development
I
reasons,
totally feel
which is like
they're delaying it for
totally,
right reasons.
Yeah, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
The thing is, I'm not even excited for it, to be honest. Like, for it, like the week it comes out, I'll be like, oh man, I can't fucking wait to play that fucking game. But like every other Uncharted game, it's like after I done played it, I don't care about it anymore. I don't even want to play it again.
Right.
It's weird because I really want to play them, but then I never want to replay them.
Right. It's funny that you said that because I, for whatever reason, had this like urge to play Uncharted 2 and 3. I don't like Uncharted 1. I don't think Uncharted 1 was a very good game. I think it was a learning game for them, and I think it worked because the following games were very good. That one was okay. I don't like it that much. So it annoys me kind of when people are like, "Oh, dude, Uncharted 1's the stuff was changed." It didn't change anything. Uncharted 1 was average at best. Uncharted 2 was a fucking excellent game. So was Uncharted 3, but same thing with you.
I liked
never
Uncharted
really wanted to
1,
play
but
that
I
game.
didn't see. I liked Uncharted 1. The revolution behind it that everybody saw. Like, the second one took me by surprise. Like, when it came out, I was like, oh, Uncharted 2? Well, alright, I guess. But then when you see it, then you're like, oh, wow, they fucking actually did something with this game.
Yeah, I liked
like,
Uncharted 2.
You would never suspect... You would never have suspected what Uncharted would have become from the first game.
Well, the first game was not that interesting. It doesn't
carry all that stuff.
Yeah, it turned into this grandeur. Like, it turned into Indiana Jones, and Part 1 wasn't like that. It was just a whole different thing. It was like this weird cover shooter. Wasn't even whatever. I'm not gonna shit Uncharted 1, but it's not the game. Like, people act like that game was that series really got good with 2. And the other day I was like, man, I was really close to buying the Nathan Drake collection because I wanted to play some fucking Uncharted 2 and 3. But I didn't because I was like, when the fuck? I was like, you know what I said? I was like, I just don't have the time.
Well, the other thing is you're going to play it, and you're going to play it for like 10 minutes, and then something else is going to come out you'd rather play instead.
Right.
And what are you going to do? You're not going to finish it, not because you don't like it, just because, you're going to want to play the other thing instead.
Well, yeah, like if
you've already played Uncharted,
like if I try to play that this weekend, then I'm gonna like Division's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, oh, fuck, am I gonna play Uncharted some more, or am I gonna play the Division? Like that, I don't know. Let's talk about that Nintendo Direct, huh?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Do you want to talk about how disappointed you were in it, or?
I mean, I didn't listen. I didn't think there were. You have to be expecting something good to be disappointed. I wasn't disappointed. It was exactly what I thought it was.
Well,
I thought it would be a bunch of games I don't give a shit about. And that's
absolutely true. You definitely didn't expect much out of it. Like, I remember us talking about it first, and I was like, no, they're going to show the NX. Then I read their site. Oh, no, NX or mobile. I'm like, oh, well, never mind about that. And I'm like, well, they'll probably show the new Zelda game. Nope. They didn't show any of that.
Yeah,
like, damn,
exactly
I should guess everything. I should guess everything that I think they're gonna do, but only guess bad things so that they don't do any of the bad things.
I knew right away that they were just gonna show a bunch of shit I didn't give a fuck about, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, yeah. So but what did you care about?
The only thing I saw there that looked remotely interesting was Paper Mario, to some extent, because in a way I kind of don't like that series anymore, and how weird and cutesy it's gotten. And it might have always been cutesy. It's just as I'm older now, I care less maybe. Paper Mario and Kirby looked alright too, until they started pitching that, like, oh, you can play fucking Kirby 4 players to challenge more stuff, and you could do even more shit with your 4. Like, then I'm like, all right. Once you start forcing me to play with other people, like, what is Nintendo's fascination with group-based games?
So I don't know if that Kirby game is only multiplayer.
No, it's not only multiplayer, but the way it seemed worded to me was like, to do the better stuff, the better challenges, or the high level stuff, you'll need to. And that's I could be wrong.
And but you know what you're not wrong about? Let's talk about the thing that was disappointing. Not that they didn't announce something, but the fact that they're like, I kind of feel bad because the guy who's making it is like, man, I've been wanting to make this for a long time, and everybody's just shitting on it, me included.
Oh, that!
But
tell me that fucking
that Metroid Prime Federation game, yeah.
That's like,
I mean,
that to me is like the online thing with Nintendo. Like they just have, I feel like they have no clue what people actually want from them.
well, I've said that before. I really don't think they communicate with their fans, or at least, I don't know what fan base that they're drawing from. Like, because I have to wonder, like, are they only catering to small children and getting opinions from them? Or,
I don't know,
maybe they don't. I mean, I don't really know. But it's just like, it feels like they're so detached from their really don't communicate with them.
They seem to have no idea what the real Metroid fan, the guy that played Super Metroid, the guys that played Metroid Prime, they have no idea what game that guy wants. Because I don't know how you're a Metroid fan and the game you give the fans is this Federation fucking thing. Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, right, and are little kids looking for Federation Force? Are they trying to bring new people in the franchise or something? Like, what does that even mean?
It's like a new IP that they're sticking a Metroid name on it. Or the Federation Force, right? It covers the war between the Federation and the Space Pirates. Which I told you guys this in the chat. Which then the first thing that hit me is like, Metroid Prime was called Metroid Prime because there was a giant alien called the Metroid Prime that was causing all this stuff.
Right.
So why is this game called Metroid Prime Federation Force when it's not about Metroids anymore?
Right. Well, what bothers me is that, like,
I think
for me, it's like, make a real fucking Metroid game. This game could happen. It's just like, but why? What? It's like there hasn't been a new Metroid game in 1,000 years, like a proper one.
Yeah, I don't know what their deal is with that. Like, why? Why not? Like,
and honestly, okay, so to me, all the Metroid Prime games were pretty good, and all the 2D Metroid games were pretty good.
I thought the 2D ones were better, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I think the 2D games were the best.
Yeah. I think,
there was actually people who hated Metroid Fusion, the GBA one.
I love that.
I thought that one was I thought that game was awesome.
That was one of my favorite. That was one of my
dude.
That
game is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people who think that they suck ass.
So the last one that they is probably like their worst game.
Yeah, but that wasn't Nintendo proper. That was like Platinum or some shit, or
no,
Tecmo,
like Tecmo did it. But even then, it was still more of a Metroid game than this game. It's still like, I played through it, I beat it. It's annoying. There's annoying things about it. There's a lot of things people would hate about it, but it's still a Metroid game, and it's still pretty decent, and it still does a few things right. But I mean, the biggest gripe I think people had was only unlocking your weapons because this dude is telling her to unlock them.
Right.
But other than that, it's just like they don't even make a Metroid Prime game. Like, they make a first person game. Like, they could. Like, I just don't understand. Like, they really do not listen to people.
They either don't listen,
like, hey, we like this about your game.
They don't care. I mean, remember back when the whole online thing, like, they have this different understanding of what gamers want than what gamers like. I don't think they have an actual pulse or feel for what gamers want. I feel like they were so successful in the past at creating the experiences for people that didn't exist, that they feel like we know what you know. Well, no, it's more like we know what you want because we created all this. Better than you do. Yeah.
It's this arrogance. Their design, I guess.
Right.
Maybe that's not true. Maybe they really just are detached, and they're, maybe the developers are like, hey, I think this will be fun, but they really don't know that it's not fun to people.
Right.
It could be as simple as that too.
And for all we know, they this Federation game is good. I don't know. It looks stupid as shit. Even the character design looks stupid to me. Like it at the very least it could look cool.
Well, the thing for me is, I think for a portable, first person multiplayer shooter, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks decent. It looks like it runs on a good clip. Like the frame rate looked fine, but that's not what I want next for Metroid. That should happen. That's a 3DS game. Okay, let it happen. Make that 3DS game.
But the bigger thing that I think with that thing, like, if there's one, I wonder who's playing fucking Clash. If there's one, yeah, if there's one genre that's not made for fucking mobile, it's first-person shooters, or shooters as a whole. Like, that's like the worst.
I don't know. The 3DS with the analog nub anyway. It works. It works.
Right.
I mean,
it works. But like, it working and being good for it is like two different things. Like,
it's
first
not
person
that
on my
bad,
iPhone works.
I mean, well, come on. It's not the same as an iPhone. There's another analog stick. You can move the camera around. It works. It works almost as good as using a gamepad. I mean, it's not, and it's not worse in a way where you can be like, well, nope, I can't play this. It's unplayable. The only way it would be unplayable is if they designed it that way, with the controls shitty.
Must have come a long way, right? Like, I had some Metroid game on DS that was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember
but that used the touch screen to move the camera.
That's
around.
right. Holy shit, that was bad. And so, like, if there's two analog sticks,
and they both work well. I mean, I've used them and it works. You could do that. If Mike just doesn't like playing on portable, and that's fine. But lots of people do.
I think I mean, I'm fine playing an RPG or something on a port. I just think that shooter genre, that first-person shooter genre, is pretty bad on portable.
Man, but that seems like such a great possibility, though. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to play a first-person shooter on 3DS or like a Vita or something and have it work well seems like a really cool,
that's what
fun thing to do.
On, is trying to make console games on portable. Like, that's what was that shooter for Vita called?
Yeah, but the thing is, technically Nintendo is doing that. Sony's not, because they don't even back it. That's the biggest problem.
Right.
And at least Nintendo has some sort of third-party support for the 3DS. I mean, that's the only way they survive now. But is that Sony was like, yeah, well, it didn't work, and then just fucked off and like failed. They didn't even put as much behind the PSP, and they tried with the PSP for years, and it was moderately successful. I wouldn't call it a supreme success because it was around for 8. It stayed around, but
supreme success.
But the Vita, they really just kind of like said, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it didn't work. They gave up on it like 2 years ago.
Right.
And they were still selling it. And it was just kind of fucking I don't know. Anyway, you're right. Like, you're saying, okay, they tried to make console games on a portable, nobody wants it because Sony's done it, but Sony failed, not Nintendo, and portable gaming hasn't failed.
I don't think portable gaming failed. I still hold to my freaking crazy proclamation that I told Jerf and Urf the other day. I don't know if I think Urf said he thinks I'm right, but I'm not sure. Somebody said they think I'm right, but I don't know.
What was the proclamation?
Yeah.
In 5 years, one of the phone companies are gonna figure it out. Like, whatever the thing that draws people to a handheld console like the DS and not a cell phone for video games, in a couple of years, a cell phone company, I don't know if it's gonna be Apple or Samsung or fucking someone, or maybe one of these VR phone things, like, someone's gonna figure it out, and that business model of building a handheld gaming machine is gonna die.
I think that's an inevitability. I don't know if that's 2 years, though.
I didn't say 2. I said 5.
Well, I don't know if it's 5 either.
I don't know. That's my guess. My guess is within 5 years, someone figures out how to make real games on a phone. and the world will adapt to it. And that model of like, here's my little video gaming machine called the DS that Mario games are going to be on. That model is going to like, it won't die because Mario is going to be there, but it won't be the money machine it is now because developers and the such are all going to flock to this one thing, whatever it is, you know. Which that thing isn't out yet, obviously, but I think when someone figures out what that thing is to get the controls right, to get the developers there and get the APIs correctly, it's going to kill Nintendo's whole plan of, because what's going to happen is like as people get more advanced, no one wants to carry two machines around when you can carry one.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the only thing that's really stopping that from happening is not APIs and programming games, because phones are super powerful.
Right.
They're more powerful than a 3DS. They
by
they
far.
could do better games.
It's
It's
developers
the controls.
and controls.
It's controls.
And that's what I'm saying. Someone's going to figure out a way, either a controller or a method of controlling or something on the machine that makes that a viable, comparable thing to a console. And that's when that happens and everybody starts saying, "Oh fuck, man! I like the next, I don't know, the next Final Fantasy or the next Contra or whatever is gonna be on fucking phones." That's when it's gonna be like, shit, man.
But in my thought, I mean, I think it's going to go a step further. I mean, not as soon. I think there's going to be a day where there aren't going to be any consoles. I mean, obviously we'll have streaming gaming, but I think there'll be a point where also like our phones will be our consoles, you know, and our computers. We'll be just docking them and using
Microsoft's
them for
trying
those
to do
purposes.
That shit already.
Yeah. I mean, that's the real future right there. And
Microsoft's halfway there, man. They like with that. You guys saw that Windows phone that you can plug into a dock and it has run full Windows 10 on it.
Yeah.
I
mean,
it runs like shit, but still, they're getting there.
I think we all always knew that was kind of going to happen anyway.
Right.
But I feel like it's much sooner than we think.
No, I agree.
Well, so here's the thing about that, right? If they're smart companies, they'll keep them separate as long as they can.
Well, that's Nintendo's whole thing. They have to. But Nintendo's also like the only thing I've seen them do that's like really smart was when they said, "Hey, we're gonna start putting our stuff on phones," because like they realized like fuck, man, they have to penetrate phones before phones are just everything. So that's why
So I think that
Japan has taken a big interest in mobile gaming.
Well, Well, every country
bigger
has,
than
but
here,
Japan
actually.
More than others, yeah.
That supports, I think, your theory of everything kind of converging, and I agree to some extent that there won't be a handheld game console and a phone at some point. It'll end up being the same thing, and I think Sony's even tried to do that before. Right?
Yeah, Sony's problem is they can't build a good fucking phone. The only thing they could build,
they can't build a good portable either.
No, they can't build a good anything besides a game console because their TVs shit now too because they cost too much. Like Sony
they kind of just got lucky with the PS4. Everything else sucks.
I don't even think they got lucky. I think Microsoft handed the generation to them when they fucked up their messaging at E3.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
I don't think it's just they fucked up their messaging. I think they over invested into the Kinect. They should have. The Kinect should have been something.
No, I think they overinvested.
They overinvested in media.
Yes. No. Well, media, and they overinvested in that thought that people only want digital games, which turns out they were right. Everybody only buys their games digital. Not everybody, but like digital game sales are like the way to go now. So it turns out they're right.
Yeah,
just people didn't want to hear that.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing.
No, I agree with that.
Right.
No, I agree with that, and what I liked and I mean, I can understand why people didn't like the thought of it, because I had this discussion with Stefan before Palp,
right?
And basically, it's like, well, Microsoft wanted it so that if you bought the game physically, it was the same as buying it digitally,
right?
But you just put it in there, installed it, and then you never needed the disc; you could throw it away.
Right.
And that was the end of it. Like, and they wanted to make that was the whole purpose of it, so that you just always had your games.
Sign the license to your console or your account, and you could just move on. But like people didn't want to hear like, oh, wait, what do you mean? Like I can't trade my disc in because everybody's a cheap ass, right? I can't loan it to my friend. Like it just turned into this whole like destroy Microsoft thing where
well, to be fair, I'm one of those people.
I mean, yeah, and I understand people wanting to do that, but you don't need to buy the platform. And I guess that is what happened. People didn't buy the platform, and it fucking hurt them.
Right.
But I don't disagree with people's sentiment behind that. But at the same time, it's like, this is going to happen eventually. Microsoft just did it. It's the company who takes the risk.
Their messaging is bad.
They could have easily not said any of that, and implemented that structure in later,
right?
Rather than trying to do it right out the gate, because people weren't ready for that.
Yeah, it would have been better for them after the console had a foothold. Rather than trying to launch with that, and people got pissed off.
I'm sure.
And they actually had to reverse their whole thing. They were like, "No, okay, never mind. Just kidding. We're not going to do that anymore."
Well, remember, they're Microsoft, so they see how many people install Steam, and they see how many people are running Steam on a daily basis, and they see this stuff, so they know how successful digital video gaming is right now. They were just banking too much that the console generation is ready to do that right now. Which
I think
no one wants to admit it, but
I think one of the reasons Steam is so successful is because Steam sale.
Yeah. That's actually why Steam is so successful, for a fact.
I'm actually looking at Steam sales right now to see if there's
anything good
that's cheap that I just want to.
Here's an example. Like what was it over Christmas? Hey, what is that? Every Star Wars game for $20, all of them ever that were ever made for PC for $20. I mean, and that's like what another brings us back to Nintendo being completely detached. Like they could easily give sell all the Mario games for $20.
Yeah,
and they would probably make a fucking killing. They would probably make a doing that. Guess
oh my
what?
Gosh,
they don't do it. They don't. They don't do it. They won't ever, because they think they think too highly of their product. One, to think we could never sell them below this cost.
Yeah,
blah
because
blah
if we
blah.
start selling stuff for cheap, then people think the product is cheap.
So what's shitty is that's the same mentality that makes them not make a new Metroid Prime game. It's the same mentality that makes them make a multiplayer shooter for 3DS instead of a graphically impressive Metroid Prime game for Wii U or whatever.
So
forget Metroid Prime.
That's the same.
Imagine all right, so the engine or the technology they use to make new Super Mario Brothers and how good it looks side-scrolling. Now imagine a dark, gritty, side-scrolling Metroid in that kind of graphics, and how fucking great that would be.
Dude, it would be excellent. But because they think, I don't know if...
Wait,
so my impression is they think it'll water
Super Mario
down the
3D
brand.
World or New Super Mario Brothers?
New Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
That crisp side-scrolling action. Just imagine, obviously Dark and Metroid, and just that 3D but side-scrolling, just really good-looking that game does, and just imagine Metroid like that, and that they could make that, but instead they're putting out Metroid Prime Federation Force, and they put out that 3-player Link game, and they put out this. I don't even like.
That 3-player Link game. The problem with that
is it needs 2 other players. That's the problem.
Well, actually, that's not the problem. The problem is that they don't have any online structure.
Well, yeah,
they're doing all these multiplayer things, but they don't want people to play online. It's
that's the thing. Yes, there is no online structure, but you're forced to do it. That's how you play the game.
I would really love to play that Zelda game, to be honest, with 2 other people. That'd be awesome.
Well, when that DS gets here, I will most definitely download it, and if Earth also has it, we can do that. I'm down. Yeah.
Have fun, guys.
Could be a DGx podcast.
As long as we do not play with Jeff.
Earth never comes to the podcasts.
Yep.
As long as we make sure we do not play with Jeff. I'm not going to play video games with Jeff ever again.
Agreed. Yep.
He's such a piece of shit, that guy.
Yeah.
I got him a job at this company, and he just fucking quit 3 months later.
Wasn't it the other way around?
Listen, you guys and your stupid fucking, specifics.
Semantics.
Your facts.
Yeah, you guys and your stupid facts. You guys think you know everything because you know what happened.
You guys think you know everything, but you don't know shit.
You hold facts in such high regard as if they mean truth.
Yeah, you guys act like the truth means what really happened.
So, what about these other rumors about what the NX might be?
Oh,
so,
man, I don't like. If it's a mobile thing, fuck that. I'm out.
No. The more recent ones that were basically saying it's like
a PS4,
as powerful as an Xbox One, maybe a PS4.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't want it. Like, they need to, like, if that's what they're just gonna keep doing is underpowered machines with some gimmick controller or some touch controller or some crap. Like, no, I don't want to be buying Nintendo machines anymore just for one or two games. Like, people hate when I say it. I know you guys don't care.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. So, from what I understand, from the rumor, right? Is that it's supposed to be at least as powerful as an Xbox One. They're designing their OS to be specifically. I mean, this could all be just conjecture, but just take it for what it's being said. Stated as. Developers to port games over. It's got a similar architecture as the Xbox One and the PS4. Not only just in terms of power, but it's an x86 architecture.
Right.
Guess they said it was going to be. I guess they said it was going to be running on Android, but they said that they debunked that before. So I'm not even sure.
They debunked that one months ago.
Yeah, but
the rumor, I guess, was that it would be like Android, which.
Okay. So like Android.
Yeah,
but okay. So,
if you're gonna build an x86 machine, there's already two of those. Like, why am I buying this one? Because Mario's on this one? Like, that seems like the sell.
And that's no. And you know what? That's a good point. And that's the thing. Like, what is it that they're gonna do? So this is the thing. Nobody said anything about the GPU. I guess they're saying it's as powerful as a PS4, but really, like I said before, the only way Nintendo's really going to win people, other than games, because I mean they would really have to be pulling all these exclusives out of their ass with third parties, which I don't see happening. Honestly, I just don't see Nintendo. That would be a whole new Nintendo, and I don't see that happening. But what would make someone buy a Nintendo machine if they already own a PS3?
The answer is what always got us to buy Nintendo machines, that Mario and Zelda.
No. There. Besides that,
there's no besides that. That's the thing.
No, but we're talking. Those are people that are just doing it for the games. But the regular person who doesn't, the regular person who only buys their PS4 and who's like, "Fuck Nintendo, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Nintendo is."
So I think I know where Bobby's going. So I'm interested.
The only way they're going to really sell the console is if it's a better console. It has to be more powerful. And I'm not saying it's going to be, because I really don't think it's going to be a more powerful console.
All right. So even if they release a machine this year, and it's I don't know, twice as powerful as the PS4, I still don't want it, because if Destiny 2. If Destiny 2 is not there, and if The Division 2 is not there, and if Mass Effect Andromeda is not there, then who gives a fuck? You're going to buy this twice as powerful machine to still just play Mario and to still just play Zelda.
Yeah, but, it's possible, and maybe, I mean, I'm not saying, but it's possible. Let's say those games do go on the Wii, on the NX. I was going to say the Wii U.
Yeah.
On the NX. Let's say Destiny 2 is on the Wii, the NX.
Right.
And fucking the definitive version of The Division's on the NX, and then whatever the fuck, they just start porting games over because they can.
They figure out the third party thing somehow.
Yeah, somehow they build relationships with third party. It would take that hard. It wouldn't just be third party. It would take a hardware reason for them to sell the units.
And then the thing,
have a PS4.
I think the problem is even if they do that, even with all those games, even with all of that shit, they still don't sell well, because at this point, all these people have already got a PS4. Like, I don't think the word definitive. definitive.
And I've thought about that.
The definitive.
I've thought
like,
about
like
that.
to say the the better versions on this console, that doesn't work because they had to stop making games on 360 and
Right.
and PS3 in order for people to upgrade. They stopped making stuff
Yeah,
over there.
I've thought about that though, and we live in a generation, and it may not be you and me, but we live in a generation where people like to upgrade their phones every year for incremental upgrades. And sure, there's jump programs like T-Mobile and stuff
See,
like
and I
that,
don't
but
think
not everybody has
I
that.
don't think consoles. I don't think consoles are that way. I think consoles people tend to hold on to them a whole lot longer. Like I know people who play a lot of video games that just recently this past Christmas got an Xbox One or a PS4, mostly a PS4, but because all those games are I don't know, man. Those games were out on fucking 360. Like, who cares? Like, Destiny came out on 360. Like, what do I need a PS4? That's the only game I play. Call of Duty, like, they came out on 360. Like, Madden, still on 360. Like,
Yeah,
they had to stop making games on the lower consoles for people to start upgrading. All right, well, these games now are only on this console, and the new Nintendo console won't get that except for that Mario game. And, like I said, the guy that wants to play the Mario and the Zeldas, they're going to get that machine. Everybody else already has a PS4. And unless it's, like,
all
again,
I'm saying is that if they get third-party support, I don't think your argument has feet.
what do you mean?
People who own consoles, there will be people. Wait, let me finish, man. There will be people have that attitude, but there's still so many people out there. It's like, well, I got my PS4 2 years ago or launch date, and yeah, sure, they'll buy a new console.
See,
If there's something shiny, if Nintendo offers something shiny enough, they'll convert, and they don't need to land them like the first year though. Because think about it, they're late in this race. So as long as if there's they still have a good running to go with. But
see,
I think there are people in this chat who would do that.
I think guys like me and you who buy everything new will get it. But I think the masses, I think the same 9 million people that bought a Wii U will buy that thing. And I think your average PS4 guy, well, all my friends are going to still be playing on PS4. Like people aren't going to convert. Like, remember, everything's online now. Like, people aren't going to convert to whatever Nintendo's weird online system is to play. Like, it just doesn't work. Like,
yeah, I guess you got a point.
They still only sell. I still think they only sell 9 or 10 million of those things. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, they don't have the legs Sony does with normal people.
Yeah. In fact, actually thinking about it, they don't have their Xbox Live or PSN.
And
if you think about it,
assuming they make that, assuming they develop that right now with the NX and they release that thing, whatever their multiplayer thing is, it's not going to be where these guys have been working on it for 12 years now are going to be. And like, people aren't going to jump ship to Nintendo Online or whatever the fuck they call it.
Well, and actually, it took Sony a whole to really actually become Xbox Live.
Sony's shit sucked. Like,
so okay, all right, I see your point, but I don't think it's going to be as unsuccessful as you think it's going to be.
No,
if it turns out to be that way.
If it turns out to be that way, I still think it doesn't even come close to sales.
Well, I think it will actually be a third place runner at least. Whereas right now, the Wii's not a third place runner. It's not a participant, really. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? I think it'll be in this, because a three-party console system is better than a two-party console system. Because then that keeps... I think it keeps them all in check.
First, I don't think this machine's going to be that powerful. In fact, I don't even think... I think it'll be like on par with the new ones, which I think they're going to fuck that up out of the gate. And then on top of that, I just don't see it, dude. I just like.
I actually think the biggest fear I have though is what are they going to do with the controller? Just stop. Just like, I hope they're like, we're going to unveil the world's most revolutionary controller, and it's just
going to be a controller with
fucking. An actual controller. It's just going to be like a real controller.
They bundle an Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
That would be the best thing, actually. That would be the best thing they could do, is bundle an Xbox One controller, because that controller is light years ahead of anything they have.
Or, Sony or Nintendo's whatever Xbox One, PS4 type controller. nothing crazy, just a real fucking console controller.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
so like if they use that Pro controller and just make that the controller, I'd be very happy with that.
You know what bothers me? You know, I roam GameFAQs every now and again, and I was looking at the Twilight. So many people, like somebody's like, I see every once in a while, hey, is there Pro controller support for the game? Which it does have, thankfully.
What, Twilight Princess?
I don't know why it's somebody, huh?
What, Twilight Princess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Wind Waker had Pro controller support too. So, I don't know why. Whenever somebody asks this question, it's like asking if a PC game has gamepad support and the keyboard and mouse shit all over that person.
Like, oh, well, why the fuck would you play that way?
Why would you just not use the gamepad? It's got the same button layout. I mean, the screen's right there. It's like, maybe I don't want to use the fucking gamepad.
Yeah, maybe the gamepad is ridiculous and large and annoying.
You're saying like we enthusiasts do that?
But my point is, it's like I feel like those are the people that keep the fucking gamepad and stupid gimmick. No, stop defending that shit.
Well, they're the 9 million. That's what I'm saying. They're the 9 million, and that's what I'm saying. Those are the guys who buy the thing. There's the 9 million Wii owners, the people who, oh, dude, why are you buying a Wii? Well, fucking Smash Brothers comes out this year. Okay, all right. Well, they're the 9 million. They're the guys who buys anything Nintendo. And when I say that, guilty as can be, because I also bought a fucking Wii U, which now I regret, now knowing that the new Zelda will probably be on whatever this new console is. Did you guys hear my prediction for the NX?
Which one?
Yeah, you're right.
You mean the ones from last year?
No, the one I said this week, where I said I predict that the NX control is going to be this like control with a touchpad thing on the top, and all NX games will be Amiibo. Like they're just going to sell figures. They're just going to sell figures. You just put the little figure on your NX, and then the game plays.
I will admit that that's like a really funny prediction, but I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does happen,
if it does happen, I will be the greatest genius in the world.
If yeah, you will be, and I will literally take my Wii U and burn it and film it.
They're making so much money off of Amiibo, it would not fucking. I mean, it surprised me a little bit, to be honest. But like that's something.
Yeah.
That's so something.
Well,
tell me that's not something Nintendo. You could imagine them in the boardroom somewhere. They're like, what if all of the games were Amiibo?
I actually have an Amiibo.
And then they share some gif of a guy's head exploding.
Like, think about it.
Everybody's like, what?
Think about it. They'll have their controller, they'll snap Mario on the top, and then Mario will play. Holy fuck, man, that's a great idea.
That would have been great like 40 years ago.
No, it probably will be great if you're 4. And little kids would probably love it. And that, let me tell you something, that would make that console sell. Then the NX would sell because kids love fucking toys. Then all of a sudden they have the biggest selling console in history. The fucking Amiibo games console.
I read a rumor that I think would, and people would buy. And I don't think it's going to happen, but it was a rumor, and I think it sounds neat. And the rumor is that it's powerful, obviously, as we've said before, as an Xbox One. You say an Xbox One specifically.
Xbox One. Yeah.
As we've talked about before, Xbox One and PS4, pretty close. Yep. But let's say, okay, so the rumors are it's as powerful as an Xbox One. The hardware, software could be ported to it very easily, right?
Right.
The something that I interpreted, or maybe it was obvious to everybody else also, was that it is some kind of portable console that is also as powerful as an Xbox One. A wireless HDMI thing where you can play it on your TV. So that is pretty cool. I think it's highly unlikely.
However, if that's true, I can't imagine that being cheap in any fucking way.
Well, sure.
I just don't see how they can make something like that small and cheap, unless actually wait a minute.
Wii U's are still $300 fucking dollars. Nintendo.
No,
but they're not going to drop the price. They don't drop the price of their games either. So I don't think that's
they don't care about price. They still sell Wii U's for $50 less than a PS4. It's ridiculous.
Well, but the occurred to me that they might do something that I'm a little terrified they might do.
All games
Is that
are
the next
Amibos?
console? No, no. Well, I am terrified of
Because that
that. That's a
terrifies
nightmare.
me more than anything.
But actually, I think the NX is probably just going to be a gamepad, like the Wii U gamepad, but
Right.
that's it. It's just the gamepad.
With an HDMI out? Oh, God.
Yeah.
That would drive me fucking nuts.
I think that's probably what it's going to be.
Hang on. Let me ask a question then. Why does that drive everybody nuts? Like, what if you can?
I just don't like the gamepad. I mean, if
No,
you could
I
dock
hate
it
the
with
gamepad. The
controller-
gamepad totally sucks.
If you could use a normal controller with it, like if they were like, "Oh, you could use a normal controller,"
I'll tell you
then
why,
I'll be
Jeff.
100%
Well, so
okay.
that has to be what they do.
I'll tell you
Like,
why, Jeff.
hang on. If it's a wireless console that is as powerful for real, and I mean they've said this before, so who knows, as powerful for real as the current generation of hardware, and you can dock it and use a gamepad just to play games on your TV like you would a regular console. Is if you want to, you can pick it up, and it's literally the console is what you pick up, and you play it. That's pretty cool.
And that is pretty cool. I like that. And if they can make that work and it not suck, then I'm down for it.
I'll tell you why when people say that that's the plan and people go, God damn it, like me, this, like, I would hate that. I'll tell you exactly why I would hate that. Because then they're making a portable console that is not that thing can't fit in your fucking pocket, so it's not portable. It's like a thing you have to carry a bag around or have this thing hanging around. So it's another big thing. Enough people have to carry a laptop or an iPad around all the time at work. Now you have this gamepad thing, and then because it's portable, if it's as powerful as an Xbox One, I have to assume the battery will last 30 seconds before you have to actually plug it into a wall, which again makes it not portable if you're tethering to a wall or having to carry around power cords, right? And then if it's supposed to be tough enough to make something look good on your TV, there's just
No, okay, so I'll agree with you that there are too many ifs to make it a good idea that we think will actually happen. I think it won't happen. I'll give you that. I think it won't happen at all. But if they figured out how to do it, that'd be pretty cool. So the only reason I have this argument, I know what it is.
Right.
If it came out and it sucks and it's not what the battery lasts 5 minutes and you can't use a controller and it's not actually...
It's acceptable battery life for something like that, like 5 hours.
5 hours.
Super powerful
if it's
laptop.
Super powerful. I would imagine 2.5 hours is like your high end MacBook will last if it's working hard will last about 2.5-3 hours on a single battery charge.
And it's absolutely.
What I'm trying to figure out is see how they can do it, not just but the PS4 and the Xbox One have to cool themselves. Like the fans go off in those things. Like, how are you going to do that with a portable console? Like,
well, they sacrifice the power. when they say it's as powerful as an Xbox One, that means it's as powerful as an iPad. Like, I don't know. And you know what? All this stuff's rumor. So if anybody's sitting here listening to this getting mad, you're stupid because we don't know. We're just speculating because it's fun.
Yeah, don't get mad. People who get mad are stupid.
People get mad are fucking stupid.
People
I agree.
who have emotions should fling themselves off a bridge. You fucking morons.
I have emotions because I grew up with Nintendo and I'm watching this company piss it away and make it stupid. And that annoys me. It really does annoy me when they do dumb shit. It drives me nuts because they do some fucking dumb shit, man. Like the decisions, like, God.
I just feel the
decision. Like, whoever decided to make the game, to make the media Amibos, I can kill that dude.
The thing Mike dislikes about Nintendo is their decisions.
The thing Mike dislikes about Nintendo at this point is Nintendo.
But I feel like sometimes you have some unrealistic ideas for them. Like, I understand some certain things, like their business decisions as a console manufacturer, But for their software, it's like, okay, you know what? Nintendo's just going to keep making the software. The problem that they have is that they're not letting the other guys, the third parties that make all the other good software, make it for their console because they don't make a console that they can make that software for. Right. And that's like what Nintendo needs to do is they need to make a console for their developers and not just for themselves. And that's the biggest problem is that they always make the console for themselves.
Every single time they make a console, they're trying to change the way games are played. Like with the Wii, and they almost got away with it. And I thank whoever that they didn't, because if every console just shipped with motion controls today, I wouldn't be a console owner. I'd be a PC gamer, because they were like that Wii thing fucking took off, man. And I was like, oh god. And I felt like I was the only one who was like, hey guys, this is stupid. Like. No, do you really want to flail your arms the whole time you're playing a Zelda game? Do you really want to do that? Dude, just fucking immersion like I'm swinging the sword. No, you're not. You're flailing your arms. That is
like Mike Morgan, crusher of dreams. No,
but yes, Mike
you
Morgan.
Come back to reality, God damn it!
Flailing my arms around sounds very fun.
Stop flailing your fucking arms like a retard.
I want to do that.
I personally like doing it. I think it's fun.
I think in some very few applications that it's done right, it was fun. I think a lot of games came out for the Wii, and I think 98% of them were absolute garbage.
And to be fair, that's actually an accurate number. That is a pretty accurate number for what's going on. That's why the Wii wasn't successful. Because actually, some of the games.
Successful. The Wii was.
No, well, I don't mean. Well, okay. I mean, software on the Wii wasn't successful.
First-party software was fine. You're right, but the same thing as any Nintendo console.
But most of the games that I played on the Wii that I enjoyed, I believe, did not involve using many motion controls.
So I have an issue. My child is doing this thing where she dances around her crib and wants to eat, and I have to go feed her. So I have to pause the podcast, guys. Unless you want me to just leave it running, you guys can just keep on going.
Just buying games randomly.
You guys want me to leave it running, or you want me to pause it?
Leave it running. I'll ask Jeff about all his purchases and his social security number. And...
BRB.
It's 584.
821 Russian number letter.
Niner.
What? Niner. So I'm patiently waiting Street Fighter V so that it doesn't suck.
So I played it on PC. It didn't suck, but
there's no real story mode. Suck, but it's not. It literally can scaffolding for a game. I feel like.
Didn't get so far as to think that, but I did think it was a little bit weird that each fighter had like one fight.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I mean, two fights would have been fine. I don't understand why. But why?
I guess some of them are two fights, but like, okay, so the original game, you'd go through the whole roster with every fighter.
Right.
So like they couldn't even go. So the only content in between those fights, it's like a picture of each fighter and some text like "I defeat you," and they like couldn't go so far as to create the text, the fights for each fighter that they already had content for.
Next time, I will think better about this, and it's just shitty dialogue.
I mean, I guess kind of to be like 3D cutscenes where they'd have to do a little bit more work. But yeah,
I got to give it to Mortal Kombat. They knew how to make a fighting game story mode. Like,
so there's a lot of story in Mortal Kombat, like a ton of
story. And don't get me wrong, it's not like this stellar writing, and it's like I described it to my girlfriend, and like the writing is like if you're watching a show on Sci-Fi. As good as that. But it works. It works for Mortal Kombat. It's like really care about the nitty-gritty continuity and details behind the story. The world. They tell the story enough so that you how ridiculous it
You
is.
you don't care that Johnny Cage joined the Universal.
No, I could give a fuck because it's so over the top. It's a comic book at this point, so it's just like that's why I look at it. It's like, well, whatever.
I mean, I think that's exactly kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so, I mean, come on, look at them. They're like, you do those X-ray moves, which basically like you're breaking their. Then the fight continues.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
actually, I think I have that on PC.
Yeah.
Oh, I do. Yeah. Because I bought it for $20. Thought the launch was going to be terrible, and it was.
I got it recently for Xbox One.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I need to finish it. They Combat XL, which has more. It's like a add-on, which like gives it more fighters and probably I think adds more to the story or something. But the one thing I'm waiting for is season 3 of Killer Instinct. I can't wait. That's going to be awesome. That comes out later this month.
Heard about it, but I think I got the season 1 and 2 for free in one of the monthly things.
Season 1 was not season.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love Killer Instinct is probably, at least to me right now, the best fighting game out.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's the most well-made one. Mortal Kombat has the best. Street Fighter, I mean, at least this now, is approachable one. Like, it's the most accessible one. But the Guilty Gear, like the 3D, the game is like the prettiest one, in my opinion.
Consoles, or is it like a 3DS game?
No, it's a modern. Okay, so basically, if you look at the game, like if you go and look at any footage of the game, like some footage for Guilty Gear XRD, so it's like third but with an X. Just look at it and tell me that you all 3D models, because basically it all looks like sprites, but it's all done in.
Yeah, so actually, I think you posted that in DGx chat, like. Kind of looking at it, and I almost called you out. I was like, "Are you sure these are 3D models?" And then I looked it up, and you were definitely like. So there's like little cut scenes, the fight that look like 3D models, but then the fight itself, just sprites. And
but no, those are 3D models too. Yeah. Looking, actually, I don't know if you've played or seen Nino Kuni. A PS3 game.
Nino, it's like Kuni. Nino no Kuni ni.
It's like yeah,
I've seen that.
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah,
it's like his with level 5 to make an RPG. And if you watch the trailer for that, it looks just like one of his movies. It looks. If someone told me it was one of his movies I would have thought that was a movie. It looks just like it.
Revenant Kingdom.
What's that?
Nino Kuni 2.
I didn't know they had a subtitle for it.
I mean, to the PlayStation 4. Well, that's what it said in Google, but now I'm looking at videos and none of them say Revenant Kingdom. But yeah, holy shit, man.
It looks really good. That was one of the games from one of the shows recently that I was like, wow, this looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks like animation. That's awesome.
That sounds like Mike.
Oh, hey guys.
Hello.
So, Bobby, this is an RPG game?
Yes, it is.
What are we talking about?
I don't know, but the thing is, I don't know how the game's going to be, because I don't know if they're going to... First one, because the first one was kind of like Final Fantasy / Pokemon in a way. You collected monsters and you used them to fight in battles and stuff. I was talking about Nino Kuni.
Oh yeah,
and I was telling Jeff to look at Nino Kuni too, because I told him
bringing me up to speed on the world of Nino Kuni too.
Yeah, I told him look at the trailer. It looks exactly like a Miyazaki movie.
Yeah,
even more so than the first game.
I like the first Ni no Kuni. I kind of regret not beating that game. I kind of got burned out on it. I kind of got to a point where I was a little stuck and needed to do a little grinding, and you know how that works with me. So
yeah. Well, that sometimes happens to me. Like sometimes I'll come back and pick it up. I find that's much harder to do with Japanese. If you leave a Japanese RPG, after a while you're like, what the hell was I doing?
Oh yeah. It's really rough getting back.
Where am I supposed to go? What was I supposed to do next? Like I remember like doing that in Final Fantasy. Like, where am I supposed to go?
Right. Yeah. I'm with you.
There's no fucking log, nothing.
No, it's like
I'm kind of shallow when it comes to video games, and these kinds of things are really cool to me. Like the cell shaded when you can't tell the difference between a cell shaded 3D model and a cartoon. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Avatar is kind of like that. I think I own a couple of Avatar games, and those Dragon Ball Z games were kind of like that before too.
Wanted to get the newest one, but I mean I don't really want to buy it. I would like if someone got it for me, I'd be so happy because then I didn't have to buy it. They were selling that thing for like $60.
What, with the Avatar games?
No, the Dragon Ball Z one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it costs that much. It's like, yeah, this isn't $60. You know? But yeah, I really enjoyed Ni no Kuni. It was not unexpected. I knew it was coming out, but it like took a while for it to come out.
I didn't know it was coming out. That game caught me completely off guard. I didn't even know what it was, and maybe you told me about it.
I told you about it. I was like, "Hey, get this game," and you're like, "How the fuck did you hear about this?" And I was like,
"Oh, how I even got onto that game," but I remember
I actually discovered that game not through the internet. I discovered it the old-fashioned way, like a Game Informer subscription through. Well, yes, through porn.
Yes.
Yep.
I actually at the time had a game through GameStop. I don't even know why I had one. I must have went to the GameStop times I went to them and got one. And basically I their issues and I was like, holy shit, what the hell is this game?
Right.
And then like a year and a half later it came out. Yay.
So I did not feed my kid just now, and she kind of sounds like she wants more. I don't know. She's having a mood right now, so I might actually have to bail and go back.
All right.
Not yet.
What other topic? Let's move on to one of the other topics we were gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about The Division. I think we talked about that a little bit. There was another game that we were talking about before. Oh, this game that Black Desert, this MMO that's kind of taken the world by storm, but not at all.
Taking people you know by storm.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Like taking everybody I know that's into MMOs by storm.
So, well, tell us about it.
It's this MMO that was been out in Korea for a while. I think it's Korea. Don't hold me to that. And it's just been wildly popular, and now is available in the United States, and people are going crazy about it.
Is it North Korea?
Probably, yes. That's most
likely
North Korea.
I'm going to ask you a question about this game. Okay. So, I play Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
So why would I stop playing Final Fantasy 14, a game I've played probably about 6 years now, right, which seems kind of crazy. It's been out that long. And start playing this one instead?
I would think mostly because this game is... well, first, it has the craziest character creator I've ever seen in history. Like, I've never seen a game give you so much control of how your dude looks. It's out of control. And then on top of that, it plays like an action game. It plays like... I know all MMOs in history is like, oh, it doesn't play like an MMO game. This one actually does not play like an MMO game for real.
So does it play like an action RPG kind of thing?
Yeah,
like Secret of Mana or something?
It plays like... I don't know. The closest thing I could think of is one of those, like... one of those Star Ocean games where like you're hacking and slashing, but in an RPG kind of way. And there's cooldowns and
Okay.
shit from your typical MMO, but it's very fast paced and it's like swinging your swords and all that shit. Uh, I like that game.
Cool. Can you tell me more about it other than that?
Well, the only reason I'm being so vague is because I'm trying to figure out if I'm
Oh,
gonna have
because
to.
your girl.
I don't know if you can
Yeah,
hear
I
her,
just
but
started crying.
she's making. Well, she's not crying yet. She's like making noises, which is she starts having a fit before she actually wakes up and starts screaming. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to walk away, but now it looks like she's calming down and looking at her in a little video monitor. Yeah. So I don't know where to start. It's an MMO, so obviously there's a bazillion people. The game costs $30. There's no monthly subscription. There's no pay to win. Like you can't buy items and shit, and you can't buy like special currency to buy super awesome items. You can buy with real money cosmetic shit. Shit for your house, or clothes for your dude, or cool thing for you to look. Shit that doesn't actually matter in the game. So it's cosmetic shit only. Very similar
Okay,
to
that's
Dota, I
pretty cool.
guess. And there's no monthly, so that's always nice for an MMO. And it's straight MMO. Like there's hundreds and hundreds of people running around towns, and there's quests, and you're doing stuff, and you're talking to NPCs, and there's a really big world. It has the coolest map system I've ever seen in a game. Not
That might actually be worth it on its own.
the map.
Yeah, just to see what it's like.
I might,
I mean,
I might make a short video tonight and post it of like just showing you how the map works in this game. Is like if Skyrim would use this map, Fallout, if every game would use this map, I'd be a very happy camper. Like the map is so fucking awesome. It's not even funny.
Well, where did you buy it?
BlackDesertOnline.com, I believe, is the website.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not on Steam or anything. It's their own thing.
I've purchased games based on title screen alone.
If you go to the website and look at it, like it's the prettiest. Oh yeah, it's not for the faint of video cards either. This game is
Yeah, and
a
that-
monster.
It looks like actually that's a good point. I don't think I could get it yet.
The
I
game
ended up
is
with my
actually
rig.
a monster. I played on medium. How's that?
I looked at it. It actually on medium. It looks really good on your computer because it looked pretty decent.
No, it looks great.
from what
but
I saw.
can't imagine what this game looks like on full high, like ultra or whatever. Like you must have a 980 or some shit. This game looks magnificent.
So, hey, Morgan, the reason it's $50 on their website. You said,
There's two.
did
There's
you get
a
it?
traveler's package and an explorer package. There's a $30
Oh.
one too. You got to click up at top. So there is an option to make it $30 that comes with less.
Yeah,
in-game.
sorry, I didn't explore the
tabs.
mouse clicks.
Yeah, I think it's,
Yeah.
So I bought the $50 one because of the perks seemed good to me. I'm like, yeah, I want these things, which I have none of those things, so I don't know where to get them yet. So just so you know, it's not like you log in and they're like, here's all this.
So, for the record, the Explorers package says you get 2 guest passes.
Oh, neat. To Earth. I don't think I would be able to use it very well.
Or the people on this chat, this podcast. So just me.
Maybe we could give it out to a fan. The only
that's a
fan.
So, fan,
Oh.
write us if you want that guest pass.
A comment below.
Below.
If you're listening to, I think Mike bailed. I think he had to go see his baby.
Yeah, you must have.
Yeah, I heard her crying.
Can you not
He's
hear?
like,
Can you, hello?
Oh, there you
Oh.
are.
No,
There
I
you
was
are.
here. Yeah,
oh,
I think I might have hit the mute button by accident. Yeah, Bobby, we don't have fans, but yeah, if you guys want those, if you guys want those 7-day pass, or at least you, I know Bobby's computer isn't quite up to par, he says, but Jeff, if you want that pass, I'll absolutely get it for you. I don't know.
Yeah, hook it up.
I mean, at the very least, you get to try it out, see if you actually want to play it. Knowing you, I think you'll like it, but won't play it.
I think 7 days is probably exactly as much as I
I
need.
think 7 days is about 6 days more than you'll play it.
It's probably true. It might be 6.75 days more than I need.
I know my Jeff very well.
And you cater to his needs. Dare I say you enable him?
Yeah,
Hey man, I really liked Watch Dogs. I played the fuck out of that game.
I beat Watch Dogs. I actually I don't like a lot of people shit on Watch
So
Dogs.
I
I feel
beat
like that
Watch
game gets a bad
Dogs,
rap.
and I got the expansion and beat that too. It's that other fucking dude.
I thought I was the only one who liked that game.
No,
I did not beat the
I
expansion.
like
no,
that
there's
game,
a lot
but
of
I was
people that dislike that game.
disappointed by
I
it.
think
I
that
was
game got a
disappointed
bad
by
rap.
it, though.
I think that game got
They
a bad rap.
oversold it.
Yeah, I think the game got a bad rap because of their own marketing, though. Like, they showed screenshots
Was
that were
vertical
not
slice.
representative. Yes. They showed screenshots that was clearly a vertical slice or some kind of 3D representative of what the game is, and it did not look like that.
Also, I sort of feel like Division, the evolution of that engine. I think it must
It
be.
might be, but whatever the Division's doing, it looks good.
Yeah.
There were some parts while I was playing the Division where I'm like, wow, this looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's kind of subtle, right?
That I liked that I noticed was the weather. Like it was clear streets, and then it started snowing, and then there was snow on everything, but it didn't. It was just covered in a texture of snow. Like things looked like messy the way snow looked. Snow falls. Good.
I don't know what you mean.
No, that game, the Division, I think, similar thing. Like, it didn't look quite like what they originally sold it as, but I think, is going to be much better received than Watch Dogs was. I think the Division looks awesome.
I think they actually purposefully downgraded their marketing material. Like they even said that. They were like, we realized the issues with other games, so we're gonna stop showing you some shit that doesn't exist.
We're just
So
gonna show you
here's the real game.
We're gonna show you only game.
It's basically saying
Yeah.
we figured out that lying doesn't work, so we're not gonna do it anymore.
We may sell more games if we don't lie to you.
Oh, you guys and your bullshit. They love lying. Lying's the best.
Hey, do either one of you guys own Far Cry Primal?
I own Far
No,
Cry.
I think Mike does. Yeah, Bobby, do you?
I don't. I want to get it, but I don't. It's like one of those games. I know I'm gonna play it for like a day, and then I'm never gonna play it again.
Yeah.
Like I have Far Cry 4, and I enjoyed it for what I. But I don't ever see myself ever going back and finishing it ever.
Yeah, Far Cry Primal is alright, I guess. I don't.
Uh,
I played it for one
I
day.
wish I didn't buy Far Cry 4 because then I would feel better about buying Far Cry Primal.
I for whatever reason, the night that game came out, I was sitting here bored, and I was like, "Oh, a game comes out today. Let me get that." And I played it for that night, and then I was like, "Okay." That's the end of the story.
do you but
So I own Far Cry Primal, and I will probably not play it. It looks fantastic. Like graphically, they've figured it out. That game looks fucking amazing. Just playing it, I was just like, whatever. It's whatever.
you bought it on PS4?
Yep, sure did.
Why do you ask, Jeff?
He wants to buy it. Is the thing.
Because it's $34 on PC on CD keys.
You know what I say, Jeff?
I think buy it, Jeff. Buy it. Oh, there she is. My boss is calling.
Now that's Mike's daughter telling you to buy it.
Yep, my boss is calling. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave it running. Okay.
All right.
Are you guys running out of energy, or are you good?
I think I'm good still.
All right. BRB. Gotta go take care of the little. Well, she kind of settled down. She's kind of in a weird mood tonight. I don't know what's going on. She lifts her head up, whines, and she's back down now. All right. Well, maybe I'm not walking away just yet.
Interested in it.
So what's wrong? So why do you not feel compelled to go back to it, Mike?
Far Cry Primal? Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I feel like, all right. So, I didn't like Far Cry's gunplay. I never have, and I don't know. People think I'm crazy when I say that. Like I never thought play Far like the gunplay is not what I played that game for. I never thought it was tight. I never thought it felt right. So I play that game like I play Fallout. I
Well,
stay outside and I snipe the bases to death.
yeah, but that's not like. I mean, okay, that's a kind of a big part, I guess. But that the game
Right.
is huge. Like
Right.
you don't
There's
play it
other shit to do,
specifically
and I had a good
to shoot guns,
I had a
right?
good way. I had a good thing going with Far Cry 4. With Far Cry Primal, it's very up close and personal. You know, there's a lot of melee in it. It's gruesome and it's cool and it's actually a lot of fun. I don't know. I think that formula of just going and clearing out these bases and going on these weird quests for people. I think I had my fill.
And I think that's why I don't want it, because I feel
Um,
like I've done that already in like Crackdown and
and you
I
know
don't know,
what?
like a bunch of Assassin's Creed even, and all those games that do that use that system.
You know what they should have done honestly, and it's easy for me to say this because I'm not in a fucking Ubisoft boardroom. Is that game should have been a $30 game. Should have been just like Blood Dragon. Should have been a spin-off game, and I think it would have been much better received. And I think Jeff paying $30 for it is a much smarter thing than me paying 60 for it on PS4.
Well, I don't want to buy it for $30 when I know it's not worth $60.
He wants to buy a game that's worth $60 for $30
Oh,
because then
correct.
it feels even better.
No, the only reason I said it's not worth $60, Jeff, is because it's worth 70.
It's too late now.
Yeah, that game's fine. I think if you're not burnt on that formula, I think it's a pretty good game. I read other people's view on the game and how they're playing it. Like they're playing it on ultra difficulty and playing it like almost like a survival game in dinosaur era. And it seems like like people have found a whole new way to play that game that seems awesome, actually. Which actually reminds me, they updated the new Tomb Raider and added this crazy mode that seems so fucking cool, and I wish I didn't trade in the game. Like a
To
survival, the new Tomb Raider.
survival mode on
Survival
Yeah.
mode, yeah.
You mentioned that in the last podcast. I haven't tried it yet.
I
haven't
also
even
have not tried it.
yet. I need to go back and finish it.
Yeah, that game.
I'm being a little too completionist about it, I think.
I think you're being a little too
That-
Jeff.
I'm
By
not
Jeff, I mean-
completionist. I'm completionless.
Yeah, by Jeff,
Yeah.
I mean let's start it and never finish it. Unless it's Watch Dogs, of course.
I think Jeff is games he wants to get for retirement. When he retires, he's just going to play every game he's
Yeah.
ever bought.
In 30, and I'm gonna be playing so many games.
Yeah, play
Can we cast in 30 years?
Yes, let's schedule it right now.
All right, perfect.
Let me see this. Look, yeah, I think I have to go into the other room. BRB.
I gotta piss.
Okay. Make sure you
Hey,
take
pause
the.
it.
Yeah. You want me to
I
pause
can't actually. I know I can't. Like I'm on the computer, so I gotta go
it? Do you want me
away.
to pause the recording, Bobby?
Bathroom too.
You want me to pause it? You said.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pause it till I come back. Pausing.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Was it the best pee you've ever had ever?
Man, that was the best pee I've ever had in my life.
So I don't know what's up with my kid, man. I don't know. She seems to be in a weird rut where she's just like not sleeping well right now. So I don't know when I'm gonna have to go back in there. That being said, this podcast is an hour and a half right now.
So, Doom.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy Doom. It looks like it's going to be fun. I don't expect or anything, and I guess that makes it sort of like. But I feel like at the same time it's like I look at Doom really $60, but I feel like I'm paying $60 for the graphics, I guess.
Yeah, but are you
Not
getting
for
it
the content.
PS4?
Well, I kind of have to unless I upgrade my rig, right?
But like one of the big sells of that game is like, oh, people are gonna make their own levels and like it comes with the map creator and all that
Yeah,
stuff. And,
yeah. So it was the same thing with like Doom 3, and when I played Doom 3, uh, I played through the story. I mean, the biggest problem with Doom 3 to me when it came out was like, hey, guess what? I can't tape a fucking flashlight to my gun. Uh, you know.
dude, that all right. So for what it's worth, I hated Doom 3 for that. Like I did
I hate-
not,
Wasn't
I
that
did not like that game.
wasn't that supposed to be like a whole mechanic? Like you can see stuff.
You can
Yeah,
you can
it
either
was
have your
really
gun or your flashlight out, and what
Actually,
happens is you can either have
what-
fun or not, or you can play that game.
What I didn't like about Doom 3 also was you couldn't like go to a spot and kill an enemy there because they always spawned based on like triggers where you like were gonna walk to next or something like that. Like if you passed a certain point,
Right.
they would spawn behind you. Almost all there would be several times certain enemies would always spawn behind you to drop on them, and that annoyed me because it was like, well, like I'm not able to employ any kind of strategy to stay alive in this situation. Anyway, I still like Doom 3. It wasn't the best game.
Right.
It's like got the most memorable story, but it was definitely a 360 game. In my opinion, the graphic quality was like 360 quality, like 2 or 3 years before 360 existed. So that's the way I look at Doom 3, you know. And I don't know if Doom 4, like the new Doom, is going to do that.
I thought the game was good looking. That was about it. I thought it was an incredibly boring game with the whole flashlight thing. Like that annoyed me to no end. Like I could not have a good time playing that game because I was so fucking annoyed with it. That being said, Doom looks good. I just don't know. I don't know. It seems like it's a little more multiplayer centric than I would want to be involved with.
I think the way they showed the single player off, it makes it look a lot like Doom 2 and Doom 1. It was just
Right.
like about shooting fucking monsters and fucking like kill animations and just I don't know.
Which
it just
the kill
felt
animations
right.
are also interesting to me because, like, what's the objective there? Like, they have these kill animations, but does he have to go through that animation every time? It's one of those things that looks cool the first few times, then after that it just takes too much time. And I guess I don't.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know how it works exactly.
Yeah.
Like, do you trigger them, or are they triggered
No, it
automatically?
seems like you have to press something like when you get them to a certain level of dying or dead or something. I don't know.
Well, what I want to know is how dynamic they are, because if they're dynamic, I mean, weird things could happen while you're doing them.
Yeah, are you
so,
invincible?
but I
while
don't
that's
know.
Going on? Who knows?
So I'll put something else out there, and it's that Doom right now on CD keys for pre-order is $37.
So we should say out loud that
Yeah, we should get CD keys to advertise our
sponsor the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah,
This podcast is not sponsored by CD Keys in any way.
no, it's
Although
not.
It should be.
Yeah,
The way Jeff sells CD keys.
Well,
yeah.
it's just that their keys are for CDs, and they're so cheap, though.
Their keys are for CDs in a world where no one buys CDs. How fucking interesting is that?
Well, virtual CDs, anyway. Just Cause 3 is $28.
I have Just Cause 3,
I
and I
also
played
have
it like a whole whopping like 3 times.
I'm worried about that, too. I do kind of want it, though.
I tried to have fun with it, and it's not like it get to the point where it got really fun.
You know what's really fun and ridiculous is Just Cause 2 multiplayer, which I think we've talked about before.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of ridiculous, and it makes me laugh. It's a lot of fun.
I would love to do
I
that.
had a good time with Just Cause multiplayer. A really good time, actually. It's a really crazy thing, that game.
Well, that being said, I don't think I have anything else, and I am tired. It's East Coast time here.
Oh yeah,
and it's 1:30 in the morning.
1:30 in the morning there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, hey, how about this? You have any closing arguments, Bobby?
No arguments.
Well, my name is Mike. I'm with Jeff and Bobo, and
Oh wait,
was...
I do have.
Oh, go.
Earth sucks a mad nut for not showing up tonight.
That is 130% true.
Yeah.
Well, this is Mike, Jerf, and Bobo, and this is the DGx crew minus Earth, but Earth sucks balls, so he's not here. I hope he's not dead. Well,
he told me one time that he also sucks dicks.
Oh, there's that.
And then he was dead that time too, but I don't think he's dead right now.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. If you're listening, tune in next week, and we will probably not do it because these assholes don't like to show up on Fridays.
No, I want to cast. Let's cast again next week. Come on,
cast again next week.
Wait, so we got that. This is verbal.
This is
Jeff.
Yeah, this is verbal.
He wants to do it next week.
It's happening.
Next Friday is the 11th. I will totally be in town.
Roger the fuck out of that. We're here, guys. We're gonna do this.
True that.
Peace out,
gentlemen. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good fight. Good night.